What's going on? It's Trending Story. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and active the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
An amazing story about how friends of the paratroopers decided to celebrate their holiday in nature, and the incredible happened to them. When my friend's birthday approached, I decided that he and another friend of ours would contact him to celebrate his birthday in a beautiful place. I, Herman, and Aruja worked together in the Russian army in the paratroopers, and we had fun times since we met in that camp where we spent 2 years together. And there we learned a lot about skydiving, although this experience was not easy and was fraught with risks. We were in the city while Aruja was from a beautiful village near the Siberian mountains in the middle of the forest. And when we offered him the idea of celebrating Herman's birthday in nature, he liked the idea very much and told us that he knows a beautiful place not far from our village that we'll definitely like. When my friends and I got a vacation, Herman and I bought some equipment and food and called Aruja to let him know that we'd come. 2 days before Herman's birthday, we went to the village where Aruja lives and found it very beautiful and charming. Aruja welcomed us there and went to his house to meet his parents. We spent a beautiful day at our friend's house and talked to his parents, who were very cheerful, and when we went to sleep together, Aruja kept showing us his plan for how we'd spend the party. He set up tents there and threw a barbecue in honor of Herman, who's celebrating his 26th birthday. The next day, we picked up our things, Aruja brought his fun, huge dog, and we went to the forest where we were scheduled to camp. Aruja was very active and walking among the rocks. He also knew the place well and described to us all the beautiful scenery that we found. The place was very beautiful, which made us enjoy our times as we were walking and joking on the road. When we got to the place where we were to celebrate, we set up our tents and sat there resting. We were very tired and hungry. We took out some food to eat, and then Herman took out the guitar and started playing some nice music. Herman was enrolled in the conservatory before joining the army, and he was very talented in playing, so he very much wanted to be a famous musician. We enjoyed a lot of pieces played by Herman, and after we lay down to relax, and then we toured this magical place. When we rested, we got up and started walking in the woods. Aruja told us that the forest contains many animals, and we have to be careful. Meanwhile, Herman told us that when he first entered the paratroopers division, an army captain found a young bear in the woods and brought it into the barracks where he was staying. The bear was very small, so everyone approached him to walk him and enjoy playing with him. And with the passage of time, all the soldiers liked the animal and began to take care of him and provide him with food. Then, after that, they built a small house of wood inside the barracks, and he lived with them as if he was a domestic animal. The bear reached 2 years old, became very stiff and ferocious, which made the captain who found him decide to return him to the forest. And since that time, German became very fond of bears and watched the documentaries that talk about them. Aruja said that he loved bears and all animals, as he said that he used to come with his father to the woods when he was young, and he used to watch over to help animals and avoid hurting them. Herman agreed with Aruja in everything he said, because animals are beings like us and love to live. So humans should not harm them or try to hunt them. We stopped at a large pond in the forest under a beautiful waterfall and decided to fish there. Then we swam and stayed enjoying standing under the profuse waterfall, dressed and continued on the road. The weather was beautiful, which allowed us to do many beautiful things that day. When we got back to camp, we let the dog wander through the woods, and we started preparing the equipment for the barbecue. While we were getting the grill and cutting the meat, we heard the dog barking, and then we realized that something was wrong, and we ran to see what was going on. We stayed walking in the woods, looking for the dog, and when we found him, he looked, the dog came forward, and we followed him. And there we saw a small black bear that was lying on the ground in the thick lawn. We approached the little bear to check on his condition, and we found that there was blood on one of his feet, and it turned out that he was weak and unable to walk. We helped the little animal because he was in need, as Aruja quietly approached the bear and carried it gently, and then returned to the camp to give him the necessary aid. We gave him food and water, and we just watched as he was eating greedily. It was my first time seeing a bear in front of me, so I was amazed. We didn't understand why the little bear's parents abandoned him. We wondered a lot about the cause of the woods, but Aruja assured us that they were caused by a human, and it was likely that he was one of the hunters who roamed that forest. Aruja said that he'd heard in recent days that a group of wealthy hunters came from the city to that forest in order to hunt small animals and put them in cages so that they could take them with them, and that's why the bear might be one of the victims of that gang. After we were able to stop the bleeding in the little bear's feet, we noticed that the little bear had regained a little activity, and suddenly the little animal got up and started walking in the woods. Herman and I tried to catch him and bring him back to the camp, but Aruja asked us to let him walk in the woods because most likely he wanted to lead us somewhere. The little bear struggled through the trees, and we and the dog followed him. After we traveled about a kilometer through the woods, we noticed fresh footprints on the ground, and then we realized that there were people not far away. The bear finally stopped and remained steadfast in its place, about which Aruja came forward and took a look. And there he saw that there were a number of cages containing small animals of different types, and two men carrying weapons in their hands and sitting near them to guard them. We saw the little animals caged in pain. Her appearance was pathetic because she probably hasn't eaten in a while. These hunters weren't interested in taking care of her, but were waiting to collect as many young as possible. The hunters were surprised when three mighty men appeared before them and asked them to release the animals immediately. After that, Herman and I attacked and dropped them on the ground, and we continued to hit them hard until they surrendered. We tied the hunters with rope to a tree trunk, then opened those cages and allowed all the small animals to leave. Then we released the hunters and warned them not to return to that place again. We carried the two men's weapons and then returned to camp, where we had a barbecue party, which was wonderful, and we enjoyed very much our time there. Then we spent the night there, and in the morning we returned to the village. Although our vacation was exciting because we put our lives in danger, when we faced the armed hunters, we did a wonderful job that made us very happy. After we got rid of the little animals from that nightmare that they lived for several days, and they were almost deprived of their freedom if we had not intervened at the right time. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.